Okay, I'm going to do a video about some information on the Sram Gripshift. I was looking for some information myself when I was doing some maintenance and having some issues of my own with this little guy, and I couldn't find it, so I thought I would put the information out there for the next person that runs into the same thing. So this all started when I was looking for a 10-speed grip shift for an older mountain bike of mine, and really wasn't finding, all the new ones were XO and XX level shifters, and fairly pricey. So I found a used XX 10-speed shifter, and got that in the mail. Installed it on the bike and immediately was having some issues with it, and there's a broken piece in here I'll show you in a minute, but tried to find that part on the internet, both myself and the person that sold me the shifter, and we couldn't find it. So long story short, I got this GX 11-speed shifter. I got a bargain on Amazon on it. I don't know if it was a inventory issue that they were trying to close out some of their inventory or something, but I got a GX shifter set. Got the box here. It's a 2015 model, it looks like, but it's a 2x11 set. Of course, I was just interested in the right-hand shifter, the 11-speed one. The left-hand shifter, the 2-speed, has a similar part, but it's a kind of a mirror image of the one I needed for the XX shifter, the 10-speed shifter. So my thought was that the GX 11-speed would probably have the same part as the XX 10-speed, and in fact they were the same part. So I'll show you that in a second here. So this is actually the GX body and the cover plate here. That's actually the GX clamp. But this is the NX, or not the NX, the XX barrel adjuster. And there's this little plastic piece in here that is what was damaged. And you can see, I get it farther apart here, that it comes two pieces, and that really should be one. So it looks like a part that you would think would be replaceable. There's a little torque screw in there that holds it together, but I don't know. I could not find it anywhere on the internet. Possibly it exists. If somebody knows where they get them, please put it in the comments, and that would maybe help somebody else out in the future. But I couldn't find it, so I got that GX piece and put that into my 10-speed shifter. So that's tip number one, that piece is the same whether it's a 10-speed or 11-speed, as long as you got the newer version of the Sram Gripshift. Second thing that I learned while working on this project was I also replaced this cover that you actually grip and turn when you do the shifting. So I had that thing apart a couple of times, and it's quite interesting on trying to get it back together. So I was looking for a video on how somebody would do that. Couldn't find anything, so that's why I'm making this video today. Anyway, the first step is you want to pull out this ring in here, and you gotta get a screwdriver or something and pry that guy out. So here's the ring. This ring happens to be the one that you would use if you were going to use your own grip rather than Sram's Jaws style grips, which kind of lock into their grip shifter. If you use theirs, then there's a little different ring that goes in there. The second step is you want to kind of hang on to this and kind of cover the gap as you kind of gently pull on this, because there's a spring that's going to kind of pop out, and it can be hard to find if it goes across the room. So there's a spring. So you got your shifter body itself, you got your spring, and then you've got this cover. So what I learned after studying this for a while, is the way this works is when you're shifting into your easier gears, the bigger cogs in the back, it just kind of ratchets in this direction. When it goes in the other direction, you're pushing against the spring, and you're actually, this little part right here, where my thumb is going to push on the back side of this ratchet spring here. So when this goes back together, that's going to line up with that and go together like so. And there's the function of the shifter itself. So that part goes together easy. The trick is getting that spring back in there. So this is how that goes. You can take that spring, and there's a little post that sticks out right there. I'm gonna hook that one. Yeah, hang on to that with your thumb, and then you're gonna hook the other end of that spring's actually gonna sit on this little shelf right there. So you're gonna slide this down, get that tucked in underneath there, and then line it up with that pocket I was showing you earlier. And you get it together about like that, and you get it that far together, you know you get it in the right spot. Now here's the tricky part about the whole process is you got to get it the rest of the way. And I kept thinking I must have something wrong because this just wasn't going together, and it just was that I wasn't applying enough force. So put this in the palm of your hand like so, and you're going to push on it. You're going to have to push with a lot of force, and you're going to kind of rock it back and forth. When you hear that snap like that, that means you got it in. You're going to replace your ring right away so it doesn't come apart on you. And that's how it goes back together. Put your cover plate back on. Clamp goes over the top. And there you go. You've reassembled your Sram Gripshift. So, hope this was helpful to some of you, and thank you for watching.